Hey there, it's me Red Knight and welcome back to Heyday. Now for those of you who know me, you know that I enjoy decorating, you know that I like looking at people's designs. Well, today's video is all about moving the waterfall. And as I move it, I'm going to be talking about some of the design options and ways of actually creating a design. Now the design I got at the moment is this beautiful waterfall style effect. I'm using some decoration that I got within the game, both through events or through the seasonal themes, or that I've even purchased. There's items there that are sanctuary based. You've also got a lot of ideas here that have not come from just me but from other people as well. So that was the design I've got at the moment. I like it a lot, but how can I actually create a waterfall style design? What thoughts goes into that? That's what I'm going to talk about within today's video. Now the edit mode is fantastic. It gives you the chance to actually move things around and to tweak your designs as well without affecting your main design once you've opened up more slots, that is. You can also keep them there as well. Now I'm going to be shifting the waterfall over. You can see that there's a lot of decoration, like you've got three key pieces there that I'm going to be using. They are the statues and the waterfalls and some of the event decoration from the Halloween event. So you've got the Cupid statues there from the actual Valentine's, you've got some sanctuary decoration there, you've got some of the water ditches and path pieces. So there's a lot of moving involved here and a lot of themed items being combined together. Now that's one thing I like about Heyday, that we do get a lot of decoration. Sometimes it's cheap, sometimes it's expensive, sometimes you can get it quickly, sometimes it takes a bit of time to build up your collection. Maybe I should add some musical instruments into this one. Could be a nice idea. Making a beautiful musical scene could be nice. Right, now like with any key decoration, you're going to need some key parts to it, and in this case, like I said, it's the waterfall and the three statues around it. So I need to start placing those down, and I've got my green area just off the left hand side where I can place my statue. Now the first one I'm going to do is to bring over my little boy. My little boy is down there at the moment. I like what I've got here with this design. The little beautiful pools of water, the water is flowing as well. It's an animated decoration and it's nice. Now by itself it's not too bad, but if you want to make it really cool, the waterfall is fantastic. Now bringing that waterfall over, you've then got a couple of choices about its location, and at the end of the day it's all about tweaking your design to see how it's going to look. Now I think just centered there is probably the best choice, but again you've got the options of moving it to the left or to the right hand side. Now if you do place it to those sides, then in some ways it shows off the pool of water, but in other ways it also hides it as well. Now at the end of the day I think drop down more to the center is way better, because then it gives me the impression that the water is flowing into the waterfall and continuing on down, but you end up with some joins around it or a bit of a break within the design that doesn't look quite right. That's where it comes down to actually adding items in to make it look a little bit better. And what I decided to do was to use these new decoration pieces that came within the game. Now I like this one. It gives me a nice little bit of metal there as well, which is a grey colour, but the flowers are high enough that they actually look good above the rocks. Now on the left hand side they blend in really well. On the right hand side you can still see the metal of the actual bucket itself. Now in some ways that's not too much of a problem. However, if you are trying to move it around the right hand side, because of the design itself, there are limited places you can place it, whereas on the left hand side it feels a little bit more comfortable. This is where you've got to kind of like move it around your design and say, okay, do I like it here, do I like it there, is it better over here or is it better over there? And this is where the tweaking part comes. Now you don't have to settle with that design at the end of the day. Now I'm really happy with this one. I like the way that you've got the purple and the yellow there. I like the fact that they're kind of moving upwards and they take away the join break. So if you zoom out a little bit, you can see there that the actual break itself has disappeared and it really does blend in well. Right, now we've got some of these other flowers here. Now these are the ones that came from the Halloween event, and I purchased quite a few of these because these beds of flowers are really good. Now with the actual stone base around the outside, again it gives a really nice impression, and if you place some of those down it does look good. But again, because of the way that they actually flow, okay, blending them in is very, very challenging. Now, if you're looking to get a bit of a balance, you can put one on the left, one on the right hand side. You can stagger them in shape so they're more diagonal in appearance. You can bring them backwards and forwards of each other. Again, it's looking to see how they move in together. Now, I've got two Cupid statues as well. These ones came from the Valentine's event, and they bring those out, and I start placing those again. Now, by moving those ones forward, it breaks up the side of the actual waterfall as well, but it also takes away some of those joins where you've got those two Halloween beds of flowers as well. So the wings actually cover very nicely in addition to the head, and you'll see where the actual two bucket flowers there as well have also blended into the design. So that now is starting to look really, really good. So very simplistic design itself, but by adding those few items in and then moving them around, taking away those sharp edges and contrasting and blending in together, has really created a wonderful design. Now, if I add in more of those flower beds and I come down at a kind of a diagonal there, it looks really, really good. And I'm going with a red and grey style design there down on that side. Now, I'm then bringing in some of the rose bushes. Now, those rose bushes, I think, within the game have been one of the wonderful additions within the game. Once they join together, they extend, but they wrap around things really, really well. Now, it's not always going to be the case. Sometimes it will be a little bit of a gap between them. But if you do place them in a strategic place and then you blend them in very, very well, they look absolutely fantastic. Now, you're seeing here as I bring them down around the side with the Halloween decorations there, and then tweaking that a little bit more, I'm trying it out, seeing what looks good. Now, you're seeing there that I'm moving one backwards and forwards, moving them backwards and forwards, again trying to adjust the appearance. Now, I'm limited on where I can place them, but again, all is good. Right, now more rose bushes. Let's fill up some of those gaps there. Take that one in as well. Breaks up that corner piece just there. And let's put that one there as well. Now that's starting to look wonderful. Now, what I mentioned about there being a gap, you're seeing there that if I tried to place that rose bush just to the center left there, it would create a gap. But if I push it back further, so the actual flowers from the flower bed there actually hide that gap, and that's the kind of thing you need to consider. So looking at the roses now, those white roses, very, very nice. Now I'm bringing the water in. Now, this decoration I like because it allows you to spin it around and change the direction. And if you do spin it around, it creates a really wonderful design. So I've got two choices here. I could place it to the left and the right hand side. If I put it on the right hand side, it would go well. If I put it on the left hand side, again, it goes well. Sometimes actually spinning it and then turning it and then placing another one down in a different position close to it before you start decorating around, like I'm doing here, kind of makes the design look a little bit weird. But before you go too much farther, you need to again add in some decoration to break up that gap. Now, by putting those two flowers in there, it looks kind of okay, but there's still too much of a space in there, and again, I'm not keen. I want to change it. So, first of all, what I'm going to do is to bring some of these flowers down and around, and I'm going to place those in a position where it kind of blends in very, very nicely. Again, there's a bit of a gap, but not a problem. I've got trees there to move over. I got more flower beds. Let's keep bringing those in as well. So again, changing the color scheme this time. So last time I went for the red and for the actual white. Now I'm bringing pink into the design. I've also got a bit of orange there as well. So it's now starting to layer and give me a very, very different impression as well. And if I do say so, it's looking good. Those pink flowers are really, really, really beneficial, if I do say so. I like those ones a lot. Right, now, I've got a lot more trees here to add in as well. Now, I like trees, and I think if you place the trees in the right position, you can actually hide a lot of the breaks as well. And they do allow you, once you start moving them around, to show off some of the flowers that are there as well. Now, like with the flowers I had earlier, the leaves itself were covering a break. Now, the tree does exactly the same kind of thing. So those big gaps that you saw in there that were created by having the pools of water and those small flowers were nice, but now by adding the trees in, I kind of tweaked that design. Now I've got some random flowers in there as well. I've added in some rocks again to this design to give it more of a little like a kind of a garden style effect. Stick some more trees in there as well. And you know what? It's actually looking good there in the center. Now ultimately I'm not happy and I might need to tweak it a little bit more. But again, I'm limited on the location that the flowers can actually go. Now, I can spin them around if I wanted to. I could leave them in that same location. So many choices, but it's zooming in, zooming out, changing them around, trying the different designs, moving the flowers to the left and to the right until you are ultimately satisfied. Okay, if you get the message that says not enough space, don't worry. At the end of the day, it's not going to hurt you. Now, you'll keep seeing occasionally the shop coming up on the right hand side there. Now, that's a nice place to go if you're looking for some additional decoration, but you're only going to find in there items that you've purchased. So if there is a decoration that you want to add in that you've not got within your storage, you're going to have to come out of the edit mode, go and buy it, and then bring it back into the design. And then if you do that, it will then go into storage, and then you can actually add it into this design. So if you are missing something and you think, no, I need another one of those items, go and purchase it. But do remember, if it is like a Valentine's event or themed event, if the event is over and done with, you're going to have to wait until next year when that event comes back round again. Now, if that is the case, can you do without that item? Like in this case, could I do without the 2 cupids? I probably could. However, it might not look as good. So I may have to think about like using something else within the design. Now I'm lucky I actually purchased some more cupids, but there are some other statues. The panda statue that you see there could be a really, really nice design because it gives you that grey animal style effect with the flowers around it as well. So those WWF statues that we got within the game for the event that we did are really good as well. Now you may want to add in some of those golden statues, but again, I'm not sure if a gold one would look good within this design. I've still got to try that out, by the way. I think I might do so. Now, one thing I did like recently about the game is the fact that we got a lot of beautiful trees. So those autumn trees that came within the game, the reds, the orange, the yellows, the greens, have now given us the opportunity to tweak it a lot more. It's the same with the sanctuary animals. Each of the animals gives you 2 decoration. Again, that's the ability to tweak and adjust your designs a lot more. So if you're looking for motivation for actually getting the sanctuary animals, what more motivation can you need than actually redesigning? So look at these trees that are being used here, those beautiful little palm trees there. By just adding a few of those into some of the other ones I've got there, then bringing in some more of the regular decoration as well, just filling in the gaps that I've created, using the water dishes to create a nice little effect as well. It's starting to give an image that is kind of cool, and I do like it a lot. Now, if I wanted to, I could leave it at that. I could start bringing in some more of these water dishes. I could start copying everything over. But if I want to as well, what I can also do is to say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I can completely re-change my design. And that's what you also need to think about as well. So maybe the design that you had in your mind has now gone and you want to replace it. Now, again, by using those water dishes, you can get some really wonderful effects down the side there. You're seeing where I'm actually placing the water down the side there around the flowers. Look at what it's done there. Really, really, really good. And it does change everything completely, and I mean really does look good. Now the only problem is some of these decorations are going to cost you a lot of diamonds. Like one of those pieces there is 8 diamonds. Now if you've got the diamond purchase packs within the game, grab one of those, especially if it's a special discount option. Again, you might get some nice decoration as well that can be used, but the choice is yours on that side. You can actually purchase most of these things within the game without spending your own money as well, by the way. You can use the coinage within the game, you can use the vouchers, or you can use the diamonds you're getting. Now personally, if you're a lower level, I might be using a lot of those resources on other things. But as you start to level up within the game, you're looking to be more creative. You open up a lot more space. You want to change the way that your farm or your town looks. This is where designing is very good. So if you are a lower level player, I would strongly advise, as you are playing the game, you start collecting decoration. It doesn't matter what it is, just start collecting. If you win a musical instrument, if you win a simple water ditch, if you get one of those horrible ugly items within the game, at the end of the day they can all be used in some way, and it's all about adjusting and looking. Now, I'm not the most creative person in the world. Actually, yes, I am. I kind of do have a creative element to me as well. But if you are looking for ideas, what I always say is go and check your hoodies. Go and check your friends bar. Go and have a look at some of the higher level players. Now, maybe you don't want to do what they've done. You think, okay, I'm not keen on that design. Watch some of my live streams when we look at different people's designs. When I do reviews, I often look at specific parts of people's designs and just say, hey, I like that one, or this is good, or I don't like this, you should try this. Now, my views are my opinions, but sometimes my views are also the same as other people's. But again, sometimes we disagree as well, so it doesn't matter. You're looking for concept ideas that you can add into your design. Remember, at the end of the day, Heyday gives you the ability to redesign, and that's one thing I like about the game. It's not the same all of the time. Now, there are many things I would like Heyday to add in. There are some more decorative pieces I'd like to get. I'd love more seasonal trees. I really would. Some winter trees, some more spring trees, some more autumn trees. Just some regular different design trees as well that could be more creative within the game. I think if Heyday were to do this, it would be perfect. I like with the latest update we got a load of fencing. The only trouble is that it's going to take me a bit of a time to get those fencing, because every time you win one piece it's one post. You need a second post to actually add to it before you'll start making the fence design. Now, that's nothing unusual. That's a regular activity within the game. You buy one post, you buy another post, they join together. But I'm kind of happy that it's going to take me a bit of time to collect those in some ways as well. That way my designs I can't do now, I'm going to have to wait till much later. Right, now coming back to my waterfall. Now what you're seeing here is that I'm using a lot of the decoration I've got within the game that I had down with my previous design, and I'm moving those around. Now, great thing about the edit mode as well, it allows you to remove everything quickly, and then you can also paste it as well. So I think the edit mode is the really useful option for redesigning. Now, that's what I've got at the moment. It's similar to what I had previously. It's a little bit different. It's never going to be the same when I start looking at my designs. Sometimes I might do it, sometimes I may change it, sometimes I think, no, I don't like it. Sometimes I may not like the gap. There's that big gap there between the flowers on that one side, whereas on the other side the gap isn't so great, maybe. Case by case. Now in this case I kind of like the diagonal approach to this. I've got that diagonal with the water over on the right hand side, and I want to try and mimic that on my left hand side as well. So choices. Do you know what I'm actually thinking maybe is to completely do something very different. I like those purple flowers. That as a purple flower I think they are really good. Now I've got this kind of like a triangular corner here off to the left hand side, and I've also got my building that's sticking out as well. Now what I can do is to maybe use the path piece and go around. It's not always going to go where I want to with some of the path pieces because of the actual design itself. It won't blend in completely, but that green section off the side needs something special, and I'm really tempted to lay out the purple flower bed there. But let's have a look. So there we go. I'm pasting those ones down, and you know what? It looks good. I think that was a nice addition to the game. So a beautiful little flower bed there, some flowers growing, got my waterfall in the center there. I am really satisfied. I like the way that moving that waterfall over has modified design completely. Moving the house behind the actual station, sorry, not the house, the red tree behind the station, again gives it a nice little approach there on that right hand side. I like the diagonal path. Do you know what? I really am pleased with this one. I really am. But a little bit more tweaking. Let's move the flowers around again. Get some more in there, white roses as well, giving it the diagonal feel. Yeah. Oh yeah, that looks good. That really does. Now, sometimes I can't always see because of the trees. Now, you'll see there I just moved the one tree out the way. Now, by moving that tree, I can see what's blocking the decoration, thus being able to bring something back in there. And by doing that, I've now been able to move those white rose bushes. I've shifted the pink over as well. Now my tree comes back in there. I can see this beautiful kind of white path that goes through there, and that looks good as well. Oh yeah, that does look good. That does. Do I need to tweak it anymore? Do you know what? I'm pleased. Right, now I've seen a lot of designs. You've seen me move these around. You've seen what I've been doing with the actual imagery itself as I've been talking. Now, if you want to do the similar kind of thing, okay, like I said, it's all about tweaking and adjusting and moving things around. You don't like it, take it away, put something else down. If you like it, leave it there. Blend it in, okay, look at your design, zoom out, and then come back in again and redo it again. And once you do this, you can kind of come up with something really cool. Now, this is one design. What I can do is say, okay, I need to change it again. Maybe I don't like my waterfall being there after all. I might go and sit my waterfall back over on the right hand side. But because I've saved it in the edit mode, I won't have to rejig it again. I can just say, no, forget this design, go back and I'll try my other one. Or I can save this one and come back to it and modify it later. Because there's so much more I want to do with this one. But to do, that is the question. Right, now, at the end of the day, what do you want in the design? What are you looking for? Okay, remember, it's all level based. It's also about your coinage. It's also about what you can and can't afford. Now, if you look at these decorations that I've used within the game, like the waterfall, if you go into the actual game and you look at how much that's going to cost, you can see the pricing to it as well. So when you are looking at a design, look at the items that the person's being used and think, okay, do I have that one? Can I pay for that one? If the answer is you've got it, then you can mimic it. If you haven't got it, okay, go into the shop, check how much it costs and think, okay, that's what I need to buy, that's what I need to get. If you've got the sanctuary but you haven't opened up all of the sanctuary animals yet, okay, I need to work on the puzzle pieces to get those actual decorative items. Now, if I don't have that item, okay, then I can go back into the game and then maybe get it another way or try something different. So there's so many pieces of decoration gone into this one. It's all down to you guys. It's all down to what you choose to do. It's all down to what you like or don't like. Right, well, that's me, Red, finishing off. I think you've got a basic idea on what you need to do now with some designs. I hope you like this one. Now, I'm going to be redesigning my farm very soon within one of my live streams. My friend Michelle is itching to actually get in there and completely revamp it. Or maybe I will give her my town and say, hey, let's do this one as well. I've got plenty of diamonds now within my storage if I need to buy any other decorations. Kind of concerned about my coinage though, because Maggie keeps draining my funds. But with the new house designs as well and the roadside shop, I think I've got a lot more creativity opportunities within the game. Right now, I'm going to say goodbye here. If you liked the video, make sure you do hit that like button. If you would like to, leave a comment as well. You've also got the option to subscribe to my channel because you're here at the moment, so please do so. And also hit that bell notification. That's really important if you want to get my videos sent to you or told when I live stream. But either way, good luck with your decorating. Take care, have fun, and do go check out my waterfall. It's cool. Goodbye now.